Alright, now this probably just took a couple seconds for you to click from one video to the next. It was about 2 miles for us, about an hour. And for these rocks, we just traveled in time almost 1 billion years from that gneiss that was deposited under maybe like 7 kilometers of crust and under that heat pressure, to now we're looking at a sandstone that was buried a little bit just to get compacted, but overall this is just a depositional sedimentary rock. What that means is you just, in a basin, like a beach environment, you get all these sands. You've been to the beach, you know what sand looks like. Eventually that stuff builds up over time and into these giant layers that we see here at Roxbury State Park. And this is what this park is really known for, is if you want to turn around, is these beautiful sandstone layers that have been tilted upwards as part of the laramide orogeny. And these extend all the way out into the plains and then up and down all the way to like North Dakota and stuff. You see some of the same rocks that you see in this area. Sedimentary rocks are really cool. They tell us a lot about past climate and ecosystems. These are the type of rocks, they're deposited like in lakes or oceans. So you're gonna see fossils that show up in these types of rocks. So just up the road, there's Dinosaur Ridge that you worked on in Lab 1. That was these same formations of rocks that were steeply tilted like you saw. We have several different types of sedimentary rocks. We have our clastic sedimentary rocks, like we see here. I'll come back to that. And then we have our more chemical, our biochemical, our limestone rocks that are basically just dead organisms that fall to the sea floor, typically in warm environments, and eventually get cemented together. And those, think about how many millions of organisms, billions, trillions, have lived over time. They eventually die out, and those rocks are going to be carbon intensive. A lot of CaCO3, calcium carbonate, which is what forms the mineral shells of these organisms. And if you're identifying that rock type, you can put a little hydrochloric acid, HCl, on it, and that will fizz. Our next type of rock is, we have our evaporite rocks. So these are, if you've been to the Dead Sea or the Great Salt Lake, these are lakes that they keep having sediment deposited in them, just like the ocean. These are internal basins, and the water evaporates, leaves the sediment behind, and that leaves basically salt that forms rocks like halite. This is a really bummer. One of my favorite things to do in the mineral identification lab is just to take a chunk of halite and lick it as a demonstration. It's just table salt. NaCl is basically what it is. So that's our evaporite rocks, our precipitates, and then our biochemical or limestone rocks. And now I'm going to talk about our clastic rocks like we see here. In this case, this is a red sandstone. It's just red because of a mineral hematite, which indicates that there's a lot of iron in the rock. These are deposited typically in marine environments or any depositional basin, I suppose. And the size of the clast in these rocks, so how big the particles are how we subdivide them. So we have our siltstones and our clay stones, so that's very fine material, less than fact check me, it's in the pre-reading, 0.02 millimeters. If it's smaller than that, then basically if you can't see the clast in the rock, then it's probably one of those types of mudstones. Next we have our sandstones. So we can differentiate between a fine sandstone and a coarse sandstone, but you can generally identify some mineral grains or just some grains. Basically it's quartz and feldspar of the 2 minerals we're working with in sedimentary rocks, because they're more stable and they don't weather away as easily. So we're looking at mostly quartz and feldspar. And the next type we have is the conglomerate. So those are big, you'll see really large chunks, basically rocks within rocks, you can almost see. And we've got a giant piece right here of, looks like feldspar maybe. So I might classify that part of the rock as conglomerate, but this is called the fountain formation. It's actually several different layers. So you might see some areas are more sandy, some are more silty, some are more conglomerate. But these are all just deposited over time as we go from a high energy, large particles to a more mellow, deeper ocean environment perhaps. You might get finer material being deposited. And something you might see, we had our foliation and our metamorphic rocks where the minerals were aligned. You'll see something a little bit similar is our bedding that you can see with these streaks of lines here. Those are because remember our principle of original horizontality? Our rocks are deposited and superposition. They're deposited on a flat surface, and then over time new layers are deposited on top on a flat surface, and then again and again. So if over time the environment's changing, you might see slightly coarser layers or slightly thinner layers, and that comes out in the bedding in the rocks. I think that's all I have for this lecture. Tell me if you liked it or if I should go back to the PowerPoint slides. And just let me know if you guys have any questions. Office hours are always open.